Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Software Engineer K, and today we've got some pretty awesome stuff to go through. We're going to be going through the announcement of the upcoming Frank Kozik drop. We also have some pretty cool stuff with regards to Marvel and their AR comics that I just want to go through as well. So shout out to Poor Man Printing, he kind of introduced this to me, and what I did also just want to touch on was also on the Marvel side, why I believe the 2D Ultraman posters are really underrated right now, and what we could be seeing just coming up as well in the future. Now, just firstly, a couple of other community announcements. So if we go straight to Telegram, so I am now one of the admins for the main Ecomi Telegram group. So if you have a look, I will probably have the title of FUD Buster, compliments of Reese. So I'm just going to be helping out in the main Ecomi Telegram group, mainly on kind of essentially just banning people who want to be idiots. So, you know, the main kind of other admins, all of the Amazix guys, they're there for you guys to kind of contact, and they will help you. I do try and help when I can, but literally I'm mainly just there to get rid of people who just, you know, want to come in and spread FUD, basically. On the other point on community updates, so Keki Gaijin had his drop today, and he completed his NFT as well, which I covered a couple of days ago, which was going to be featuring myself, and I think this is really cool. So he's got like this kind of animation going, and essentially the idea was like kind of a Iron Man fusion, and then yeah, the 5 Ultra Red DeLorean thing was kind of tossed around as well, and yeah, you can see that I'm sitting on a throne of DeLoreans. So yeah, it's got like all the memes. But yeah, this is really cool. Like I'm using this as my with Twitter profile picture now, so that's really awesome. Now on the point of the Frank Kozik drop, so Frank Kozik is going to be having also a clubhouse this Thursday with some of the VeVeWiki people that I've organized there, and David Yu is also going to be in there. So I think that's really cool. It's been shared in the main Ecomi Telegram group, so do definitely join that one. And so if I just have a look at Frank Kozik here.
The VeVe community. My first drop is going to be Thursday, July the 1st. And I think some of these are involved.
Okay.
Community.
So Frank Kozik, he's a popular pop artist, kind of well known for his rabbit characters. So they look kind of like these little miniature rabbit things, and they're all based around various different themes as well. And yeah, you can see there him and David Yu. And what I've noticed is something that's mentioned before is a lot of these artists, these brands, David Yu has personal relations with them, so they kind of skip over the whole I guess logistic part of it, because obviously if you have a relationship with these guys, you don't have to kind of jump through all of the initial hoops. You can kind of just get fast tracked and, you know, just get to the meaty part of the business. So I think that is really awesome. Now, on that point, what I did want to segue into is, so the Marvel AR comics. Now, what I just wanted to share with you guys is just clip over here.
You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. What? Oh, come on.
Marvel was very quick to embrace digital technology because we saw what an incredible tool it could be to reach new readers. We viewed it as a new newsstand. And it can very well be the game changer for a medium, a way to get the impulse buy that's not always easy to get these days. So you know, what you're looking at here is we view printed comics and digital comics as being complements, not competitors. And we've taken great pains to make sure that we keep that balance going. We need print comics to survive. By the same token, we have to be aware of the future. We have to be aware of this new technology. We can't be afraid of it.
We are leveraging the power of these devices, the richness of the colors, the storytelling, and we're going to keep innovating on that. And that's what's exciting. We're bringing in a new group of readers, and that's what's also exciting because it allows us to expand our footprint.
And as you think about the business, how do you hope this will enhance the business, help build things out?
It's a different type of reader. I mean, some people, they just want that printed piece on their shelf. Some people say, I'll do a little digital in there too. And some people say, no, I only want digital. Ideally, you get all of it. Print, digital, that's the holy grail for us. And that's not a financial comment. That's just a fact. We think it's the best experience for people that want to enjoy our work.
Marvel's been at the forefront of publishing because we seize upon new innovations. And, obviously this rapidly changing technology is such that we have to be ready to adapt on a dime. I have every confidence that the stuff we've unveiled at South by Southwest that drew oohs and ahs, that a year from now, 2 years from now, we'll be looking back at that laughing and saying, that looks so corny. And that's a great thing. That's not a bad thing. The future's limitless.
So I think there's a lot of stuff in there. Firstly, this was, nearly 10 years ago, and 10 years ago I was, where like WhatsApp pretty much just first came out. Like that's how old this is, and you can see it was already pretty well refined. Now I believe that they're looking to really kind of show the power of AR and how much it's developed across the past decade. And Marvel AR, if you have a close attention, it's kind of like they were describing VeVe before it became VeVe. Like it just fit their needs so perfectly back then, but obviously it wasn't around back then. Now it is. And they specifically talked about, how there are some consumers that only like digital, only like physical, and there are some that like both, and they want to be able to cater for all of them, because we can't deny that there are people who just prefer digital over physical. I myself like both. And some people who move around, they travel around a lot, but they like the collectibles, but they can't bring it with them, just because of space and all of the other logistics around it. They would prefer just purely digital. So Marvel, like they said, they want to hit all of these consumers, and they talked a lot about, these comics coexisting with their digital variants, and that's exactly what VeVe is doing. They are allowing people to have, the digital versions, and for some of these drops you have paired physical versions. For example, the Ron English Rabbit Grin that's coming out, that's going to have a physical pairing. So Marvel is definitely kind of aligned with VeVe in that respect. And if you have a look at the article, the president spoke personally about VeVe. It's like, we chose VeVe, it aligned with our needs very well. We look forward for many years to come with their kind of partnership going on. So I can see with how much AR has improved in the past decade, like they'll be able to do some pretty crazy stuff. So I am really, really like excited to see what comes out in terms of the Marvel comic books on VeVe. And on top of the Marvel kind of whole Marvel universe, I believe that we have already had the first Marvel drop, but it was in the form of the Ultraman 2D. So we can see here that this Ultraman Secret Rare, it has the Marvel logo on it, but obviously due to not having announced Marvel back then, they couldn't actually have the logo on there. And on top of that, this was actually available in the Medium article. So we had the Spider-Man and Ultraman, and this was in the article, but they had promptly removed it from the article. It was going to be part of the drop from what I could tell, but obviously again, Marvel up there, and there's Spider-Man. You kind of don't want that if you haven't announced Marvel yet. So I believe that we could end up seeing this as a kind of another kind of season 1 drop later on, just like we had with the Slimer. So I think that is going to be pretty cool, pretty exciting to see. But again, I believe that when the Marvel logo does get added to these posters, it will add quite a lot of value, just because it's technically now the first Marvel drop. So that's just my speculation, but we do take that into consideration as well. Now, lastly, on the point of Omi price, so I drew these trend lines like quite a few days ago, and Omi price has just been bouncing within this range. So if I just extend this, and this bottom resistance line here, okay, now we can start to get a bit better of an idea. Now, I believe Omi will continue to trade around this range, like I said. I do see it breaking out if we get some, really good news in terms of app features, functionality, something big for Omi like a new exchange. But I don't think we are going to be getting any new exchanges for at least a couple of months, just because it doesn't make sense for them to list exchanges with the Go variant of the token and then have to go through the whole process again. And with the ERC20, I think they're just gonna, it makes sense to just prolong all the exchanges for a couple of more months, get Immutable X sorted, which they are pretty much starting now, and once Omi is on ERC20, we're all good. I think that's going to be pretty exciting. Now, my one concern is similar to what happened with Uniswap. Now, think about it this way, right? When we first have the conversion of ERC20, some or most of the of the OMI tokens will still be on GoChain. If we are suddenly trading ERC20 OMI tokens on exchanges, and there aren't that many because people just haven't converted yet, we will have liquidity issues. And what happened on Uniswap is right when this kind of swap started happening and people were trading it, OMI's price went as high as 6 cents. WOMI, the wrapped OMI, was trading for 6 cents. That is, 5 times what it was at its all-time high when it was just OMI. So I believe we could potentially see liquidity issues, which some people could take advantage of. So something to bear in mind is wait for the market to settle before you start making your plays once OMI is on ERC20. That's just my advice. Not financial advice, but just my kind of advice whenever I do stuff is, I tend to wait for the market to settle a bit before I make my move. I try not to FOMO in or panic sell, all of that. When there's nothing happening in the market, that's kind of usually a good time to, start making your plays. So that's pretty much everything I had to go through with you guys today. As always, please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.